The following video contains footage owned entirely by the copyright holders. Christmas Aficionado does not claim ownership to this footage. Footage used in this video is for the criticism, reviewing, and research under the Fair Use Doctrine. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Welcome to Christmas Explained, where we analyze the most important Christmas pop culture questions that you didn't know need to be answered. Today we will focus on the 1983 Bob Clark film, A Christmas Story, where we answer the question, what is the timeline for the film A Christmas Story, and what year does it take place? Ralph strategizes different ways he can receive the Red Ryder BB Gun for Christmas. His schemes take place over the course of a number of days, but how many and when is the film set? This was a discussion I had recently, so I did some research, and I formed a hypothesis to explain the year and the timeline for the film. A Christmas Story takes place over the course of 1 week, except for the opening flashback. So make a meatloaf and don't forget that red cabbage. Here's the timeline for A Christmas Story. A Christmas Story is based on the writings from Gene Shepard's book, In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash. The book and film featured stories of Gene's life growing up in Indiana in the late 1930s and early 40s. To outline the timeline for the film, I started my research by attempting to identify the exact year the film takes place. While the film never specifically addresses the year, we have a few clues. The first clue is the radio show Little Orphan Annie's Secret Society decoder pin. In the film, the decoder pin has the year 1940 displayed on the side. The Little Orphan Annie radio show aired until 1942 on NBC Radio. Second, the film features characters from The Wizard of Oz marching in the Christmas parade. The Wizard of Oz was released on August 25, 1939 and was very popular. This would make sense that they were included in the Christmas parade for that year. The third clue is Mrs. Parker's copy of Look magazine that Ralph hides the BB gun ad. The magazine is the December 1937 issue featuring Shirley Temple on the cover. In the dialogue, Ralph says,
"My mother grabbing for her copy of Look magazine,"
which kind of implies that it is the most current issue. Finally, at the beginning of the film, the old man is furious that the White Sox traded Bullfrog. However, Bill Bullfrog Dietrich was never traded, and the White Sox actually just released him in 1946. It's safe to say that the film's props or dialogue do not accurately identify the year the film takes place. This is reinforced by discussion on the DVD commentary between Peter Billingsley and Bob Clark.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the time period and where? Because it's never really, it's Midwest, and I guess it's just post-Depression, is that right, within a couple years?
I said it, my mind is basically as close to World War II. Like 1940 is my idea of when it is. That's when the cars are set for. We have a couple of older cars because we could get them, but it's amorphously late 30s, early 40s.
Since the filmmaker did not choose a specific year the film is set, we will just have to speculate the late 30s or early 40s. However, we do have one final clue that may help provide an answer. In that same kitchen scene where the old man discusses Bullfrog, you can see a calendar on the kitchen wall. Based on the placement of the dates, you can see that December 1st is on a Friday. That means 24 days later, Christmas lands on a Monday. Reviewing past calendar years, December 25th landed on a Monday in the years 1939 and 1944. I propose that the film takes place in 1939. Yes, a few props and cars are from the 40s, and Bob Clark didn't choose a specific year but wanted it set just before the U.S. involvement in World War II. Using the calendar as a reference, we can speculate on the timeline. Here is my proposed timeline for A Christmas Story taking place in 1939. The prologue. I started this video by declaring that the film takes place over 1 week, except for the opening flashback at the Higbee's windows display. This is where Ralph first lays his eyes on the Red Ryder carbine action 200-shot range model air rifle with a compass in a stock and this thing that tells time. Ralph's face fades into the frame as he is daydreaming about seeing Old Blue for the first time. Older Ralph's voiceover mentions that he has been scheming for weeks on how to tell his parents about the gun. Ralph's comment that he has been scheming for weeks implies that the opening scene at Higbee's department store window takes place at least 2 weeks prior, if not longer. But let's get started on the timeline. Day 1, Tuesday, December 19th. The first day begins with Ralph tricking his mother into reading the Red Ryder sales pitch in her Look magazine. Ralph then tells his parents that Flick saw some grizzly bears near Pulaski's candy store and daydreams that his dead-eye shooting skills may be needed when Blackbird's gang invades the house. His mother says no, and he will shoot his eye out. The kids head to school with Randy unable to put his arms down or even move. At recess, Schwartz triple dog dares Flick to stick his tongue onto the flagpole. His tongue sticks with the kids abandoning Flick when the bell rings. Esther Jane stitches to Miss Shields about Flick's whereabouts, who quickly calls the fire department to rescue Flick from the pole. Following a quick lecture, Miss Shields assigns the Christmas theme due the next morning. That night, Ralph writes his Christmas theme at his desk and declares it to be a masterpiece. The old man comes home, proclaiming he won a big prize that will be delivered that night. While it's not a bowling alley or a statue, it is a leg lamp. The major award provides a soft glow of electric sex that looks beautiful in the front room window. Day number 2, Wednesday, December 20th. The day begins with Ralph, Randy, Schwartz, and Flick chased by Scott and Grover Dale on their way to school. In class, Ralph turns in his Christmas theme. Remember, this assignment was due the next day. That night, the family picks up the Christmas tree and has a tire blowout on the way home. Helping the old man change the tire, Ralph says fudge when the bolts spill into the highway. You can tell that this is the same day because Ralph is still wearing the red plaid shirt with a brown sweater he wore to school that day. Of course, he's punished for saying the F-dash word, sucking on Lifebuoy, slowly going blind from soap poisoning. Day number 3, Thursday, December 21st. Thursday begins the same as the day before, with Scott and Grover chasing the boys on his way to school again. At school, the students bring small gifts for Miss Shields. Ralphie gives her a large fruit basket, hoping to sway her final decision on his paper. Running home from school in Scott, Ralph arrives home to find that the little orphan Annie decoder pin had arrived. That night, Ralph receives a secret code from Pierre and rushes up to his bathroom to decode it. Ralph then learns a hard lesson in life, realizing that the secret message is nothing but an advertisement for Ovaltine. The night ends when Mrs. Parker accidentally breaks the leg lamp. Or was it an accident? Day number 4, Friday, December 22nd. The last day before Christmas vacation begins again with Scott and Grover confronting Ralphie at the schoolyard. Miss Shields returns the graded themes, shocking Ralph that he receives a C+ with a note that he will shoot his eye out. Did you ever notice that Ralph misspelled Christmas on his theme and maybe deserved that C+? Ralph, depressed, heads home and is suddenly hit in the face with a snowball thrown by Scott. Ralphie begins to cry while Scott starts to mock and laugh at him. Ralph then snaps and charges angrily at Scott, tackling him to the ground and beating him. At home, Ralphie is inconsolable, though his mother calms him down. Meanwhile, Randy hides under the kitchen sink, crying that Daddy's going to kill Ralphie. When the old man does come home, Mrs. Parker downplays the fight, changing the subject that the Bears are playing Green Bay on Sunday. As Ralphie goes to sleep that night, with the Scott Farkas fair behind him, he decides that the best way to receive his BB gun is just to ask Santa himself. Day number 5, Saturday, December 23rd. The family heads downtown to watch the Christmas parade in front of Higbee's on Saturday night. Ralphie is impatient and wants to leave early so that they can see Santa Claus. After the parade, Ralph and Randy wait in line to see Santa. When it is their turn, Randy cries and is sent down the slide. Ralph, stunned, agrees to a football, and just as he is sent down the slide, stops himself and tells Santa what he really wants, only to be told he will shoot his eye out. Day number 6, Sunday, December 24th, Christmas Eve. I always thought the family goes home and decorates the tree after visiting Santa. However, all the characters are in different clothes from the night before. This includes the old man who's not wearing a tie when they pick up the kids. Ralph and Randy would quickly change into comfortable clothes, but the old man is now wearing a tie at home. Perhaps they're still in their Christmas Eve church clothes? The family decorates the tree, causing the fuse to burn out, and the kids are quickly ushered upstairs so Santa can come. Day number 7, Monday, December 25th, Christmas Day. Ralph awakens on Christmas Day to find that the neighborhood covered in freshly fallen snow. Waking Randy, the boys run downstairs to search for their gifts. Their parents come downstairs and the kids begin opening gifts, including that special gift from Aunt Clara that he's forced to try on. The old man points out a mysterious present hidden next to the desk. Ralphie unwraps it and finds what he thought he'd never get, the Red Ryder BB Gun. Eager to try it out, Ralph runs outside, shoots at the target, and falls back into the snow when the pellet bounced back and hits him on the cheek. Ralph fakes some tears to not let his mother know what actually happened. They go upstairs to the bathroom to clean off his wound. Suddenly, the Bumpuses break into the house and eat the turkey. The old man chases the hounds and is forced to take the family out to eat, enjoying Chinese turkey. That night, Ralph sleeps with his Red Ryder held close, the best Christmas present he ever received, dreaming of hunting ducks and making spectacular shots. And that is what I believe is the year and the timeline events for A Christmas Story. Ralph attempts to get the Red Ryder BB Gun over the course of 1 week, starting on a Tuesday and ending the following week on a Monday, Christmas Day in 1939. Of course, I chose the year 1939 based on the calendar, which is a prop, just like the magazine and the decoder pin. This is just all speculation, but hopefully I've provided a justifiable Christmas explanation of the year and the timeline for A Christmas Story. So what do you think? Did I get it wrong? Do you have a Christmas pop culture question I can explain? If so, leave a comment below. I'm the Christmas aficionado, and remember, just stay off the naughty list. And don't shoot your eye out.
I like Santa. Yeah.